following is a production of Watlington Shires and Pierce Productions.
Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome here to the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show live from the pizzeria. I am your host, Larry Pierce, and expecting some coaches on the way here. We already have some pepperoni pizza sitting out here waiting on them to get here. It's a chilly night here in Deep East Texas, and probably one of the coldest nights of the year here in 2025. We know how that goes here. We've seen a few of those over the last couple of years. But yeah, for the week, it's going to be a nice and chilly week here. But hey, don't worry about that. We get on out there and it could be worse. I think really on Wednesday or Thursday, talking about some rain coming in here, it could really kind of turn it a little bit. Maybe even see some freezing rain. Maybe even see a little bit of snow. I don't know. But we'll just kind of keep an eye on things as things go along there. We'll just kind of see how things go. But it should be a nice chilly week of weather here in the Piney Woods. But we got some basketball to get to, and welcome here to 2025 as we were not here last week and getting ready for the district run here for a lot of the schools. But this past Friday night, we did make our way into a center at the Coliseum, as it was the ladies. They welcomed in a district matchup for them. They took on the Hudson Lady Hornets. Hudson Lady Hornets are really pretty good. Lady Rough Riders are really pretty good here, but the Hudson Lady Hornets were a very good team as well. Then the guys in a non-district matchup took on the Jacksonville Indians there too, and it was a good game. Jacksonville really keeping it up there with it, but then the Rough Riders were able to really stretch it out there towards the latter part of it. So we got to see some really good basketball right there on Friday night. Myself and Chris Watlington there for that. So I want to say a big thank you to the Rough Riders and all those good folks over there in center, or here in center, allowing us to be there to call the game and have a good time with that on Friday evening. And then before that, right before Christmas here, and then right before the New Year, we were a part of the Holiday Hoops tournament, and that was a great tournament. I tell you, we got to call lots and lots of ball games there in that Holiday Hoops tournament. It was a good tournament. Had a lot of good time, and kind of once I saw that Kuntz team in there, I kind of had a feeling that they may be the ones to really knock it out there. So a good job there by the Kuntz Lions. So they took care of business there in a great game against Tatum and the Eagles. And a good one there. And a lot of the local squads there, too. A lot of the Piney West teams did very, very well into the tournament. So congratulations to them both on the girls and on the guys' side. And actually, we got to do all the games really there on the Timpson side of things there because they had a few locations there for the ball games. So we were in the Timpson location the whole way, and I think we had 19 games in there that we did over the 3 days. It was a lot of fun, and I tell you what we did was we just stayed there the whole time, but we got to end up doing the Timpson Bears there and the Lady Bears there to kind of wrap it up the last couple of games at their home floor, which was really pretty good, and both those teams won there. So that was really good for them. So nice job to see there, and J.J. Garner having a good tournament there. They're having a lot of fun there for the Timpson Bears. But like I said, we were over there Friday night and got to see some good action, and it was a big fourth quarter there by the Center Rough Riders. They took care of business over there to really get the win over Jacksonville on the guys' side the other night. Now, I thought I would jump into here, and this is with the new rankings that came out on January the 6th, which was actually today. So here we go on the guys' side. In Class 2A here, what we got, well, Class 3, I would say Kuntz and Tatum, they played each other in that state, in that championship game there for the Holiday Hoops, and Kuntz won it just very, very good there. Martins Mill, Lifehand, number 1 and 2, and Shelbyville now number 4 in Class 2A out there as well. So good job there by those teams as well. And then you look on down Beckville, number 18, and I think Tenaha is number 23. And kind of surprised that the Timpson Bears have moved out of there, but they're a good squad. They got Brooklyn in a 1A. They're doing very, very well, as well as Broadus. They're down there in number 18. That's on the guys' side there of the rankings here so far for the new ones coming out as we get ready to go into district play. Now, when we go down to the girls' side of things here, and on the Class 2A, Martins Mill up there at the top. Chirino Lady Owls there in Class 2A. They're sitting at number 4. Right now, that's pretty much the only ones we have there in Class 2A. Over in Class 1A, though, over the Broadus ladies over there in Broadus, they're sitting at number 4 right now. And we saw Brooklyn in there. They're in there at number 11. And we got to see a Saltillo team in there as well. They're at number 10. They're a good little basketball team there. We got to see them into the tournament. And the Martinsville Lady Pirates, they're down there at number 25 right now. So they're getting ready to have getting ready to get into that district part of the season. And it's going to be a lot of fun as we get ready to roll right there. But I tell you what, some games coming up for you here tonight. We're planning on going to Joaquin, and I understand I sent a message there to Coach Jones. We haven't been to Joaquin before, and Garrison and Joaquin going to hook it up tomorrow. And then on Friday, we're scheduled to go to St. Augustine for Shelbyville St. Augustine. We're going to talk to Coach Wager about that one coming up here just a little bit too. But that one should be a good one there as well. We're going to get with Coach Barnes and way we have to set up over there now with the robot camera and everything. That's really pretty neat. We'll get that all taken care of, but that'll be on Friday night. It should be a very, very good district matchup right there as we get into the month of January for Shelbyville and St. Augustine. But that'll be on the good one on the girls' side as well. Now, I don't know if we're going to see Coach Harrington here now, but that's okay. I ran into him on Friday evening after we got done with the basketball games at the Coliseum, and I ran into him and the ladies as they were getting done playing Woden at the Whataburger here in town, and I got to talk to him a little bit, and he said they lost a tough one there to the Woden, and I said, yeah, I seen Woden play. The ladies over there, Woden, a pretty good little basketball team, so Coach said he was proud of the way the girls played. They just came up a little bit short there against Woden, so we'll talk a little bit more about those as well. But all the teams getting ready to get back into action. Got a lot of games that we're going to be covering up and down to the Piney Woods area as we go along. And hopefully we'll be having more coaches show here on a regular basis. We can get back to it here on. I think we'll be here on Monday night from now on, folks. Now that we got into 2025, sometimes in December it can be a little bit rough, especially for those other guys. I don't think Coach Meek's show is going to go on today. I think Shires, one of the guys, is just getting back and having some extra work going on, so that show's probably not going to happen today. So I understand that, but we're going to try to make sure that now we're back on a regular, consistent Monday basis here for the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show as we go all the way through. Also, been kind of keeping up with things too. And yeah, even though we're already talking about here, we're still just getting into the district part of basketball season. We're also getting ready to get into some soccer as well. Some soccer's already got along the way there. So we're going to have some soccer here on NetSN, and that'll get us into like the month of March, and we'll start doing some playoffs and stuff like that there. I was fortunate enough to go all the way into the state tournament in some soccer last year. Had a really good time with it. So we're looking forward to doing that again this year. So get ready for some more soccer. Some here in the Piney Woods area. We'll also be calling some for Center here on NetSN as well. And also known not just here in the Piney Woods area in the center, but here on NetSN, you'll also find some good games. It looks like we're going to get some games coming out of Van, also out of the Brook Hill in Tyler Brook Hill area. We're going to have some of those games on here for you as well. So you can get some really good basketball along the way as we get ready to go through the season, especially the district right here in the Piney Woods, and the guys from Center getting ready to hook up for the Rough Riders. And tell you what, the Rough Riders are really, really good. I like the height and I like the way they get up and down the floor. They communicate very well, and I like Coach Harrison. He's got really good, got the girls going really, really, or got the guys going really, really good there. And I'd say I really like their height. They can rebound very well. And they get some of those shots down there, like they said the other evening. They shot 6 of 11 at the 3-point line, and they were really good at the charity stripe. They were 9 of 17, so a little over 50% there. But Timmy Johnson with 26 points. To tell you what, he's just a good basketball player. He's like to watch him out there and play. On the girls' side for the Center Lady Rough Riders, Coach Harrison or Coach Smith, his team lost a tough one to a very, very good Hudson Lady Hornet squad. They're a very good team too. So. They're going to be very much into the mix. That was that was their first district game there as well for the season for them. So Lady Rough Riders are starting to work into their own and still got some things that they're trying to work into. But I thought they showed a very good game there. But Lady Hornets, they were just really good on the defense. They played a really good press against them, and it really kind of got the Lady Rough Riders off their game a little bit. So Lady Hornets were able to spit it out there a little bit and get that win there at the Coliseum. On Friday night, the other night. And then, like I said, the guys, they took on Jacksonville and the Indians, and that was a good game there, but the Center Rough Riders were able to come out there and get the victory right there. That's good. We're going to talk a little bit about the Hula de Hoops tournament with Coach Wager and a couple other things, too, coming up here as we get ready for some great basketball on the way this week. So stay tuned here with us as we're having some pizza here at the pizzeria. It's all on the way right here on a NetSN.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the Pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
Serving our communities for over a century, Farmers State Bank continues to meet the financial needs of East and Central Texas with roots that run deep, Farmers State Bank serves as a source of financial strength to meet the needs of our neighbors. From a comprehensive range of financial products to individual service, we remain dedicated to being a true community bank. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams.
Hope Community Medicine is a nonprofit faith initiative with a primary mission of providing quality health care to the people of East Texas, regardless of race, religion, socioeconomic status, or ability to pay. At Hope Community Medicine, they want to be the leading deep East Texas care provider recognized for their outstanding patient care, innovative technologies, programs, and medicines, as well as a highly motivated and distinguished staff. Hope Community Medicine, founded in faith, focused on family. Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Center has the new and used vehicles that you're looking for. If your vehicle needs service, stop by WrightChryslerDodgeJeep.com and get your service appointment, and also shop online so you can come on down and let the guys make a great deal for you. And our knowledgeable staff will not let you leave without knowing everything about your new or used vehicle. Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram supports all the students of the Piney Woods.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here at the pizzeria for our Piney Woods area coach. Joining me is Coach Wager, the Shelbyville Dragons. And, Coach, how's it going?
It's going good. It's been a while since we talked.
Yeah, a little bit.
I hope your Christmas was good. I
It
know
was.
we enjoyed it. We played a bunch of games over the break. I think we played 8 games since the last time we've talked.
Uh-huh.
But everything's good. Things are good in Shelbyville.
That's good, and start off with some of those games here. We were talking about the Holiday Hoops tournament, and at the very end there, I know we we got to see you guys there in the Timpson. We got to call one of the games there, but at the very end there was a kind of a thing to where you guys were supposed to play St. Augustine. The way the bracket broke down, but y'all didn't want to do that because of a district game or whatever. So you kind of changed some things up. So kind of changed the way that some of those brackets ended up there at the end of that tournament, though.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you play in a tournament with some of your district opponents, I've always been a firm believer in, you don't show your hand, you don't play district games
Right.
in non-district contests.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that kind of happened to us last year with Tenaha in the Holiday Hoops bracket as well. We made the same switch. So we just decided Sabine switched with us. They took our spot. We went to the other bracket and played Cisco to round out the tournament. And
Right.
at the end of the day, I think people get away from, it's such an exciting tournament. And don't get me wrong, the Holiday Hoops tournament is by far the best tournament in the state of Texas. And people are so excited. There's so many people there, thousands of people, especially at that last game.
Yeah.
But I think we forget, too, that they're just non-district contests. At the end of the day, they don't mean anything as
Right.
far as your district record and playoffs are concerned. So it's all about getting games. They're glorified practices, and it's all about getting better. So to me, it didn't matter, where we played. I just wanted another game.
And somebody that you didn't play before,
Sure,
too.
sure.
Something
Right.
totally different.
Right, and it was just another opportunity for us to get better, and so we rounded out, ended up 3-1 in the Holiday Hoops tournament, and we're moving forward on into district play.
Yeah. I tell you what, it was a good tournament there too. We had a lot of fun with it, and I know I kind of watched that last game between Kuntz and Tatum, and after watching Kuntz play I kind of had a feeling that was a team to beat in that tournament just because of the way that they played defense.
Right.
They were just relentless the way they played, and then Mr. Sales, he was all that I had heard about too. I tell you, that young man could play some ball.
He can, absolutely. He's one of the quickest guards I think I've ever seen at the high school level, and Coach Jubert, he's been there forever and gets those guys playing really, really hard, and they fly around, and their defense turns to offense, and that's kind of their MO. And, if you're not taking care of the basketball, it's going to be a long night against the Kuntz Lions.
Yeah, that's true. And then the Tatum Eagles, they were right there with them. It was back and forth all the way. And then, of course, now they're still 1 and 2 in the rankings and stuff right there, which is probably going to be seeing each other along the way there too. So. But yeah, the Lipan and Martins Mills is in that tournament, just to let a few people know that didn't know that how many awesome teams were in this tournament here. And, Tenaha, Timpson, and Shelbyville and St. Augustine. I mean, that was just a loaded tournament. I was so happy to be there for it. I think that we had 19 games scheduled, and I think I did 18 of them because I didn't want to leave any of it. So, just had a good time with that tournament. I'm so glad that Coach Lewis and Coach and Mr. Fallon got us involved in that. I know you're on that committee there. It cannot be easy trying to put all that together.
Well, We sat down. I think there was four of us coaches, and then of course there are some chair members that are on the committee that get to decide the seating. And when I sat down at night, the last night before the ballots went in, I probably sat there and looked at that list for an hour and a half, 2 hours, just going, okay, I know who the top four seeds are. That was pretty easy.
Right.
But when we're looking at 5 through 16, I mean, anybody could go any direction. And
Yeah.
and I don't know. I think at the end of the day, looking at it, I think the committee got it right, and,
Yeah.
ended up with the top four seeds in the semifinals, and then the top two seeds in the championship. So like I said, those two were easy, and those were by far the four best teams in the tournament. And so that last night, the Tatum Kuntz game with a packed house of the SEC, that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. I tell you what, too, and then of course the Tiger Cafe can't beat all that good stuff over there. So I know because I went over on New Year's Eve, and I just barely got a few minutes to talk to Coach Lewis, and didn't really get the chance to talk to him. But he had to be going crazy over there with all that tournament that was going on. Plus his team was playing in there, and I know how close you guys are. So
Right.
how was Coach Lewis on that?
Well, the Holiday Hoops tournament has obviously been a tradition the last 15 years, and it's been a phenomenal tournament. It's just kept growing every year, and adding Coach Lewis to the mix. And people don't know this about Coach Lewis. Everywhere he's been, he's tried to run a tournament, and he's been phenomenal. He's been
Right.
really good at it. So I think when you add, the atmosphere of the Holiday Hoops tournament, and then you add D. Lewis to the mix, who is a guru at running tournaments, I mean, it's a match made in heaven. So he was running around, running like crazy, but there at the end, the last couple of games, he was pretty relaxed and getting to enjoy basketball for the first time. So
Right. There you go. Yeah, that's good. Like I said, I got to do them against Bakeville, and Bakeville got the win over there. But I tell you, that was a good game for them. So they're moving right along and getting things rolling over there too. So, but talk a little bit about some of the things that the Dragons have done so far. Let's see, we've had a game against Hemp Hill,
mhm.
and then also against Woden.
Well, we played Sherino too. So
Sherino.
right after our last show,
Oh.
we played Hugh Springs that Tuesday. We picked up a game, and then we opened up district that Friday night against Sherino.
Okay.
We're able to come out on top, force some turnovers. We beat Sherino by 8, and then we played Hemp Hill on New Year's Eve. Beat them by 25 or 26.
Does that
and
surprise them coming in? Because weren't they like 3A last year?
They were, and they're really athletic. They impose a challenge. They got 5 or 6 guys that can jump up and dunk, and really, really challenge you as far as rebounding the basketball. And I really wasn't pleased with our guys. I thought we played okay offensively that game. We were able to put up 70 points, but I wasn't super pleased with the way we guarded and the way we defended that night, and really challenged the guys going into Woden. And our guys responded well. The ball wasn't going in for us offensively. We were getting all the looks that we wanted, and the ball just wouldn't go in. But on the defensive side of things, we're going into halftime, and Woden only had 5 points.
Right.
And so, anytime that you can guard and rebound, that's always going to keep you in game, especially, because there's going to be nights where the ball doesn't go in.
Right. Yeah, and now we're getting ready to move on and move into some big games coming up here. And where you guys going tomorrow?
We're at home versus West Sabine.
West Sabine tomorrow. That's right. They're coming to town tomorrow. And West Sabine is showing improvement too. Coach Williams is bringing his team to town, and they're showing some really good improvement. I got to see them a couple times already so far.
Absolutely. They impose challenges too. They're big and athletic and long and very physical. They play extremely hard, especially with Coach Williams. It's got them rolling. So, they impose challenges too that are going to be tough for us tomorrow. And, we'll see how our guys respond.
Yeah, and I think that the guys should be good with that one. And then the big one I think is definitely going to be on Friday. Get to travel down there to St. Augustine. It's going to be a chilly night down there, and it's not a long bus ride, but still, anytime you're out there in the big yelling the big white bus with the Shelbyville big
Sure.
white with in the cold, it's good. But down to St. Augustine, it's going to be a tough one down there, and that's a big one to have early right there against a very good opponent.
Absolutely. It'll be a really good environment. Our guys kind of have that game scheduled on the calendar, and we'll see. I'm hoping we don't have to move it. There's bad weather coming in Thursday night, and we're playing it by ear as far as school's concerned. And if we cancel, and hopefully we don't have to end up moving that game to Saturday or even later in the season. But our guys have that one circled. They'll be fired up to play, and that'll be a big one. It could potentially decide the district champion in our district, and depending on how Sherino shakes out and their next few games. But this will be a big one. Should be 2 undefeated teams in district play, and hopefully our guys are up to the challenge and get after it.
Yeah, because St. Augustine had a really good turn there. Whenever you guys didn't play each other in the Holiday Hoops tournament, they took care of business there in their game there and won that one there too. So, Coach Randall's got them really going along really good. And Whenever I talked to him, he said, as long as we can keep ourselves out of some foul trouble, we're going to be really, really good. And if they get that offense rolling and they're moving along and the ball's going down, especially some of the outside shots, they're dangerous balls.
Absolutely, they are. And they're very long and athletic, and they rebound the basketball very well. So, we'll see. We're going to have to be tough when we go over there and play on Friday night, and we're going to have to be up to the challenge on the road, and hopefully our toughness will prevail and we'll come out on top.
Definitely. Now, let's talk about some of the guys here on the squad. You're getting to play some of those guys a little bit more, and seeing Dallas Murray getting in there, getting a little bit more into his basketball legs there. But like I said too, I continually to be impressed with John John. I keep seeing John John just more and more each and each game, just contributing more and more out there on the floor.
He's got the biggest motor on the team by far, and he just never stops. So his effort just is continuous all the time. And when John's going and making the right decisions and doing what we're coaching him to do, our team is really, really good. So he's been good for us. So, I mean, hopefully he keeps it up over the next few games and, continues to be coachable, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because I mean, once you get John John going, then you get, if he's rolling and Geechee's going, because the two kind of feed off each other a little bit right there, and then of course, you get those two going, then DJ starts rolling in there too. So and then just keep rolling, and Tanner Doggett gets going out there too, and just keep moving on. You go right down the line, but those two guys, the Mathers brothers, if they're moving in there, the way that they feed off each other, the way they talk to each other out there, that can really be very motivating for the rest of the team.
Absolutely, and those guys bring the most energy every day.
Mhm.
And when they're bringing it, all the other guys kind of feed off. And when we're sharing the basketball, especially whipping the ball around, we're dangerous. And especially when we're making shots and the ball's going in the basket, that always helps too.
Right, I know you've said it plenty of times. Hey, when DJ's out there on the floor, he makes your job a lot easier. And I mean, I just like going down and seeing him, before ball games and just saying hi to him. And he just got a big smile on his face. Don't have a whole lot to say, just ready to play ball. And I mean, just a good guy to just hang around. Just be there, just to
Cool,
talk
calm,
to.
and collected. He doesn't get too high, he doesn't get too low. So, you don't ever have to worry about coaching his emotions.
Yeah.
He'll get fired up every now and then, you love to see a big play happens and he'll be fired up. But for the most part, he's pretty even keeled and he doesn't make a whole bunch of mistakes when you don't need him to.
Mm. Well, and also you get to put Aiden Shields down there a little bit more, trying to get that height down in there a little bit because, I mean, he seems to be pretty much one of the tallest guys you got out there, and you're really going to definitely need that getting into the district play of it. I know Dallas does a really good job in there, don't get me wrong, but I mean, you're definitely going to need somebody in there that can help Dallas out down there in the middle whenever he needs some time away.
Well, Aiden Swindle has really stepped
Oh,
up
yeah.
and played well. He played big minutes for us the other night at Woden. Is doing a really good job. He's learning. He's just a baby. He's a sophomore and doesn't have a ton of varsity experience. But he's doing well for us. He plays extremely hard. I don't ever have to worry about his effort. If we can figure out, down low and the spots to be in the right spots, he's going to be a dangerous player for us too, and
Yeah.
hopefully can play a bunch of crunch time minutes.
Yeah, because he got sick a little bit there, so he wasn't able to play a little bit. Because I remember seeing him play the first couple of games there, and then he got under the weather, and I was talking about how good he was, and I thought, man,
Right.
he's gonna be good out there to play.
Right.
And Tanner Doggett also coming along out there where he seems to be kind of fitting in there and starting to feel his groove up a little bit more too now.
He is, and he's starting to shoot the ball well for us. He's starting to grow some confidence and start learning how to play with some of these other guys that he's not used to playing with. So, everything's just kind of coming along. We're not there yet. We guys still have a long way to go, but hopefully, by the time we get to February and March and the playoff time, that things are really, really firing on all cylinders.
Well, I know you're talking about Swindle coming off the bench there too, but I mean, somebody else, who else you got that you're really looking at that's coming off the bench that's starting to really show some gumption here as we get going.
Well, I mean, we've got some young guys, Gavin McDonald, Dallas Jones, Jarrett Hargrove. Those guys aren't seeing a whole bunch of minutes, but those kind of the future of what's coming for the next few years when these seniors graduate. So we've kind of got a bunch on the bench. Moved one up this past week, Trevin Cartwright. Hopefully we can sneak him in and get him in some varsity minutes. But ton of guys on the bench. We don't play a whole lot at times. 6 or 7. But those other guys are ready when their number's called.
Right. Yeah, I can tell that they're ready to get out there and they like to get out there and get with the team and get after it too. I tell you, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to January. I know January is really whenever we got really going on along with it last year too. So it was good stuff too. As I was saying, I talked a little bit to jumped over and talked about the girls real quick. Talked to Coach Harrington in a little bit there at the Whataburger the other night after the loss to Woden, and yeah, I can understand the Woden's a good little team there. The gals, they're pretty solid. But that was had to be a good learning game because I mean I know that the Lady Dragons are really coming along and they're playing really good there too. But they ran into a really good squad there Friday night.
They did, and I think they're 3-2 right now in district play. They've got two big ones this week in West Sabine and St. Augustine, and hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
they can at least get one. If not, they can get both of them this week, and
Mm-hmm.
put themselves in a good position to be able to make the playoffs. But they're coming together. They got some new faces that haven't played before, and that takes a while. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen over 5 or 10 games. You're going to be in the meat of your district season before it really starts to click, and so.
All right.
I think they're going to end up being fine. I mean, hopefully they can get one or two this week and move right along and be sitting in playoff contention.
Well, with the West Sabine Lady Tigers too, one of your favorite people, Mrs. Coach Bragg's coming to town, so you get
Absolutely.
to sit behind there and talk a bunch of smack behind her, but as long
Sure.
as you,
Sure, absolutely. We talked today, and so we always go back and forth. It was great working over there with them, and her and Coach Williams, and our husband Coach Bragg, and getting to
Mhm.
know them, and it's kind of like a family when we were there. So we give each other a hard time, but no, I mean they're good. They're very
Mhm.
talented. She's got two or three girls that are very very athletic, and they like
Yep.
to push the ball and run and gun, and they can be a really really scary team.
Yeah, they got some height over there too that Coach Harrington better be ready for whenever they get down there, and that's for sure is going on too there. But I think that the girls are playing along really, really good. Like I said, they're had a better off on the record so far this year than where they were last year.
Right.
They were able to make get that number 4 seed last year, so that's aspiration to get into there. And I mean, they got some good teams that they're going to have to contend with in there. But I mean, if they keep playing it, especially if they can get a win Friday night against a very good St. Augustine squad that is tough to go in against, then that could be very motivating for them as well as they move forward.
Absolutely. I think this week is really going to kind of determine where their season's at and, which direction they're headed. And, I'm really pulling for them. I hope they can, hopefully they can get both of them. So,
Right.
but we'll see. It's going to be tough. They're going to be two athletic teams, and our girls are going to have to be more mentally tough than what they've been. And, we'll see what happens. I know Coach Harrington's going to challenge them, and we'll see if they're up to the task.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one on Friday night there for the gals as they get ready to go get some tough one there in St. Augustine. Same thing with you guys. You guys got a tough one though on Tuesday night with West Sabine coming to town. So, what else is happening there in Shelbyville now? Back to school. I mean, things coming along there with the new activity center and all that other stuff. I haven't been over there in a little bit. The new big building that they're building back there.
So we're building a new field house,
Field house. That's
right
what.
next to our old one, kind of in the back there between gyms, and it's coming along. It's a slow process as always, but
Mhm.
brick by brick, literally, every time I walk out there, they're starting to lay the bricks out there, and they're going to start to build the inside, and we'll see. I think the plan is to try to have somebody, I don't know if it's the coaches or somebody moved in by the end of the school year,
Right.
and then kind of get the kids transitioned over and during the summertime and be in it full time starting next year. But it's coming together. There's still a lot of people flying around, a lot of construction going on, but I don't know. The upgrades in Shelbyville are kind of nonstop. So
Mhm.
we'll see. I know we're all excited.
All right. Yeah, I tell you what, it's an exciting place to be over there in Shelbyville. Well, now, as a coach and then as a teacher too, with all the weather that is going on, like I said, maybe we can check out some of that there with you. As I mean, I know we're looking at it to where Wednesday or Thursday there may be something in there, so we're kind of looking at that before we kind of make any decisions there on Friday.
Right.
Probably like Friday at noon is whenever you guys usually make a decision on something like that, and so we're just kind of wait and see how it comes in. Because, like I said too. I've lived up north about for about 20 years in Oklahoma and Kansas, so I kind of used to a little bit of it
Right.
around here, even though I've
Sure.
been back home for about 4 years. But as long as that north wind don't blow, we'll be okay. And I've been kind of looking at it, and there's a little bit of rain coming in, could turn into some freezing rain, so that could make some difficulty here. So, but it may be gone by Friday. So I guess we'll just Friday at noon is when we'll finally know for sure.
No doubt. I think I looked at it today. The precipitation starts supposed to start on Thursday,
Mhm.
sometime in the morning.
Right,
So I don't know. Hopefully it's all out of there by the time Friday comes along. But if school gets canceled or delayed, it's kind of out of our hands as
right,
far as games are concerned. But we'll see. We'll play it by ear and see what happens.
right. Hey, nothing wrong with some Saturday basketball.
No doubt. No doubt.
There you go. I will give Coach Wallace a hard time for me, and before I let you go, we get a
Go Dragons.
All right, we're going to let Coach Wager go. Going to end up eat some more pizza there. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and wrap up the show here today. Piney Woods Area Coaches Show from the pizzeria here on NetSN.
Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with best of Nacogdoches and best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
Joaquin Tire in Joaquin, Texas. Family owned and operated with new and used tires, general mechanics, and road services. Jesse and his team is proud to serve the community with car, truck, and commercial and ag vehicle tires. They're located in Joaquin at the 84 and Highway 7 split. Call the shop today to make an appointment at 936-269-9516. That's 936-269-9516. Joaquin Tire is a proud sponsor of Game of the Week. Stop in and see them today for all of your new and used tire needs.
At Shelby Savings Bank, the same thing that's true at the Selma Street location is true at the North Branch. It's where banking meets the smile. They're not just friendly tellers, they're your friendly tellers. And the smile on Manager Janet's face, it's contagious. When you say Shelby Savings Bank is your friendly hometown bank, well, you hit it right on the nose.
One of my favorite memories is waking up on Sunday morning at Grandma's house to the smell of breakfast. Now, Diamond Bee Cafe's not quite Grandma's house, but it's pretty darn close. Now, it may take an extra minute to get the food to the table, but quality takes time. Diamond Bee Cafe on the corner of Timpson and Tenahawk in the center. If you're in a hurry and need a quick pick-me-up, stop by Diamond Bee Coffee, 500 Hurst Street, serving specialty coffees, breakfast, lunch, and sweets.
Nobody wants to be sick, but at least at Aurora Concepts, being sick is easy. From their spacious waiting room to their experienced and friendly staff, they care about you, they listen to you, they're here for you. From start to finish, that's the experience at Aurora.
Sparky D's Bargain Store. Who are we? We're an online auction store on Facebook. Find our page on Facebook. There you'll find a post for our weekly auction. If you find an item you like, place your bid and you could be a big winner and save yourself lots of money. We're on Facebook only for our weekly auctions. We're located in Center, Texas. Check us out on Facebook. It's Sparky D's Bargain Store, where we will save you more.
Serving our communities for over a century, Farmers State Bank continues to meet the financial needs of East and Central Texas. With roots that run deep, Farmers State Bank serves as a source of financial strength to meet the needs of our neighbors. From a comprehensive range of financial products to individual service, we remain dedicated to being a true community bank. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams.
Good evening, folks. Back here, wrapping it up this show as we get ready to go here on a chilly Monday and getting ready for our Tuesday. Tomorrow, expected to go into Joaquin tomorrow. Go ahead. Come on over, Coach. Well, come on over. Come on over here. We'll get it done. You and I can chat. I did the game the other night. We'll chat about the game the other night. What's going on? We're gonna bring Coach Harrison in here and we're gonna talk some center ball. How we doing, Coach?
I'm doing wonderful.
Awesome. That's good. Awesome and blessed. Hey, I was privileged to actually get to call the guys' game the other night, and
Uh-huh.
privileged to get a good Jacksonville squad when the guys finally were able to pull it out there towards the end of the game. But really, really enjoyed watching the guys play. They had a really good game the other night.
Yeah, Jacksonville came in. We knew they were going to be pretty tough. They've gone up a classification. They're 5A now, but we played them last year in the playoff. But they got most of the guys back, but uh, we struggled a little bit first
Mhm.
quarter, and that seemed to be our downfall. But we finally got it together, and I think we ended up winning by 15.
Yeah, it was a good game out there, and I know that you call Timmy T baby, but
Yeah.
I just like to call him Timmy. I mean, because the way he likes to play, 26 points for him the other night. But I mean, he kind of put it together there, and in the third quarter was when he really kind of lit it up a little bit out there. Started hitting a few of those threes out there and started really
Mhm.
knocking it down. So good percentage from the 3-point line, 6 of 11 there for the guys, and that's kind of in par of what you like to shoot out there, ain't it?
Yeah, we want to shoot probably 40, 45, 50%. It's hard to shoot,
Mm-hmm.
anything higher than that, but we work on it quite a bit.
All
The
right.
guys shoot quite often, but yeah, he's a player. He's a player, and he can get after and go get his. But those other guys help him out a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I was really liking number 13, Robinson.
Hmm.
I really liked the way he was playing out there. I mean, I was really just kind of keying on him. But he was just kind of going right after the basketball and, all over the place out there. He was getting some second chance shots and getting
Right.
some rebounds out there. So I was really impressed with the way he was playing ball too.
Well, we've challenged those big guys to get more rebounds and contest more shots, and I think between him and Ja, I think they had 28 rebounds together, and
Hmm.
I think we had close to 56 rebounds. That's our goal, try to out rebound a team by double digits. They get 30, we need to get 60. If they get 20, we need to get 40. So
All right.
we work
That's
on
not
that a
easy
lot
to
as well.
do.
No, it's not, but it's a
That's a
challenge.
goal. There
It's a
you go.
goal. We challenge those guys every day, and the guards got and Tim gets a lot of rebounds, and those guys they go hard for that rebound.
Right, and then TJ, really, because Chris was talking about it and said it was really into the fourth quarter before he really started getting anything going there as far as points going. But I mean, he's a
Mhm.
big force in the ball game. But he ended up with 6 points there all in the fourth quarter. But you usually see him kind of getting some of those buckets early in the ball game, not just wait till the fourth quarter to add to it, though, do
Well, he does a good job. He kind of runs that team. He lets those guys get going. He does a good job rebounding and defensively. He does a good job. Um, he tried to get those other guys going, so he'll get his. But
Hmm.
he's a ultimate team player. He's
There
going to
you
get
go.
out there and make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be and doing what they're supposed to do. So he's a great leader.
Yeah, I saw him drop many dimes out there. I know he had at least 4 assists that I saw him out there with. I know he had way more than that, but I saw some of them that were really good out there too. Because a couple of them went over to Bush where he dropped in a couple of threes out there in the ball game. So seeing Bush out there contribute out there, like I said, I'm talking about Robinson and Smith
Right.
in there too. Just I mean everybody up and down the lineup. It wasn't just one person the other night. You guys had the 6, 7, 8 guys up there scoring. Most of them in double digits. So it was nice.
It was a nice night. We got an efficiency chart, and we don't really just look at points, but deflections and rebounds and charge, things that everybody can do.
All right.
That's only a few guys can go get 20, 25 points, but everybody can take a charge or get a rebound or deflect the ball or play great defense, and that's what the efficiency charts. So
All right.
we'll look at that after every game, and and they get points for it, and we kind of uh, celebrate those guys who get 10 plus points on the efficiency, and
Mm-hmm.
you know that means you're a major contributor
Right.
in the program.
Yeah, I had a coach in Northeast Oklahoma that did something like that too. The guys got for the efficiency stuff that they did. They got some. It was sort of like that.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool to hear something like that again. But yeah, here the guys coming up and down the floor. They were really good with the rebounds too, and then especially like going there at halftime. 2 of 6 there at the 3-point line, and still hitting them at the charity stripe there too. Still just a little over 500, little over 50% at the charity stripe there. But I mean, still that's good. I mean, we're hitting them at the end of the game too. Was when you really got to hit them in that end of that
Right,
fourth
right,
quarter.
right.
That was big there. So, but I mean, still, So still some of those things that you probably want to be better than 50% of the free throw line.
Right. At the free throw line, we're trying to get 70, 75% at the line. We practice that every day. There's a drill we do at the end of practice when they all tired,
Mm-hmm.
and we call it the win game free throw. And we'll start with, we'll say 70 points, and each one we make, we get 1 point, but each one we miss,
Right.
we deduct 2 points.
Uh-huh.
We put it on the visitor side. So we're just trying to challenge those guys and to make free throws and focus on that.
Right, and I tell you too, in the Coliseum there, just a beautiful place to play basketball too. It's
Yes,
just
it
a
is.
nice place for everybody to come. And I heard something that was going on that we were talking about, putting together like some kind of a big tournament here in Cinnamon. Is that still
Well,
something y'all are just chatting about
well,
getting done?
we've been talking about it for years, Coach Munoz and Coach Cloud and I, and Coach Meeks mentioned it. We just didn't have the facility
Right.
to do it, but we want to have something like Tenor Hall. They got the 1, 2, and 3A. We want to kind of piggyback off of that and get the 4, 5, and 6As in here. And
Mm-hmm.
we've talked to some teams in Houston. We were up in the tournament last weekend in Beaumont. We talked to some teams, and there's some 4 and 5A teams. Always almost committed to it. Silsby has committed to it. So, once we put their name on it,
Right.
then everybody start thinking, well, Silsby going, we may need to look into go.
Right.
Um, we're looking forward to it.
Right.
So yeah, we just kicking it around. We're just trying to get all the details and all the logistics worked out.
Right. And there's plenty of schools around here, I'm sure, that would really like to be a part of that. That would probably come
Mhm.
down and be in on that too. So that'd be a great tournament to have. Yeah, to have like the 1, 2, 3 over there in Tennehaw, and then right over here maybe at the same time, or maybe a few days before or after, or something, earlier part of December or something maybe, for the 4, 5, and 6A. That would be some
And
good
that's the
stuff.
plan to have it early.
Mhm.
That week that we get out of school, I think that's the 17th, 18th, and 19th that
Right.
week there
Yeah.
before, because Central they have a good one early in the week. Then Tenor Hall have theirs at the end of uh, we're doing the break
Right.
after. So we just kind of figured to have ours right there in the middle of that.
Right. Right there on the minute. That'd be. I tell you what, some of the teams that want to be in all three of those tournaments, that get you ready for the season,
That'll
wouldn't it?
get you ready for your district, I tell you.
That's it. Well, I know that Jacksonville wasn't a district game for you guys the other night, and do you got one more coming up, or is
Yeah.
it ready to go for you one more before the district starts?
We got one more. We got Hallsville coming to town
Right.
tomorrow, and Coach Walker does a good job with those kids. He's
Mm-hmm.
been over there a while, and I talked to him today, and he said just we'll be over there. Take it easy on us, but he's always trying to blow smoke. But they'll come in and they'll compete. They got a 6'9" guy
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of 6'4" guys, so they'll be challenging.
Right.
So we just got to get
So
after
play
them
a
and
game.
play hard, play good defense.
Right. And that's what I liked about it too the other night. I think you guys did really well. I think you clamped down on your defense, especially there into the fourth quarter. Really started playing them up a little bit more tight and got them off of their half court game and really was just really on them. And that way, that made a big difference. Started getting some of those turnovers,
Hmm.
turned them into points.
Right, right,
And
right.
that made a big difference in the end of that game too.
And that's what we would like to do, like especially at the end, like you said at the end. We pride ourselves on being in shape. So everybody else they kind of wearing down, and that's when we really try to get going.
Right.
And that's when we try to increase that lead there.
There you go. Well, let's talk a little bit about the ladies real quick, if you don't mind. And Coach Smith and the ladies took a tough loss there from the Hudson Lady Hornets. Hudson Lady Hornets look really good. But the ladies are still coming along. They're still getting it all together there. They're still trying to find their way, I think. But the few times I've seen them, they look pretty good. But I think they're just still trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, they're trying to figure it out. They lost a big piece when they lost Mae Johnson, but
Hmm.
you got some young ladies that's willing to do what Coach Smith asked them to do, and they're doing it to the best of their ability, and they'll get it together. They'll
Right.
get it together, and I have faith in Coach Smith. He does a good job with those ladies, and
Yep.
and the, and the ladies respond well to him, so they'll get
Hmm.
it going.
Yeah, I have no doubt that they'll still be competing for a playoff spot there toward the end of the
Mhm.
year. That's for sure, for sure. All right, Coach. Well, I know that I'm not usually the one to sit here with you, but I appreciate you doing it with me, and then sitting in here and having a chance to chat with you guys about it, and you and the guys. Like I said, I don't get to call the center games very often, but when I do, I like to call them because you
Mhm.
guys are like fun and exciting basketball team out there. So, but I was going to ask you, okay, so after this one, who do you guys start district with?
We'll start district with Bullard on Friday, so
Bullard.
we'll have another home game this week. We got 2 home games this week. Tomorrow, I would like for you guys to come out and support
Right.
the young men. The ladies play off. They're going to Madisonville, but
Right.
the men will be here tomorrow starting at 5 in the Coliseum. All games will be in the Coliseum tomorrow starting at
Okay.
5 with the freshmen. Then Friday, girls and boys will be at home. It'll be our district opener. It'll be the girls' third game. So Bullard's coming to town. So we're going to have 5 games. We'll have the freshman boys and JV boys in the high school gym, and JV girls, girls, and varsity boys in the Coliseum starting at 5 o'clock.
Right.
Both places. So it's going to be a great atmosphere.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Well, the one thing I can say is if you do put together a big tournament like that, just make sure there's a hospitality room.
Well, it's gonna be a great hospitality room. That's what we base. That's what we base tournaments off
There
of.
you
We
go.
go down to Beaumont, get some of that good food down there, and Central Heights has great hospitality room. But I was gonna be the best. It's gonna be hard to beat Ten Hall's hospitality
Well,
room.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I mean, well, I was trying to get them to bring some of that food over there to Timpson where we were, but we ended up getting a delivery from somebody here in town bringing it out there, so it was all good. So it was good. We had a blast, though. We had such a good time.
That's
Well, all right, Coach. Well, thank you for being here
Yes,
with
sir.
us.
Yes, sir.
And you guys stay warm. And then, like I
Oh,
said, too,
no.
I guess it may make a difference on Friday night, too, with the weather coming in. We'll probably know Friday at noon, somewhere right around
Yeah,
there.
it may be probably by noon. We'll
By noon
know
on
if we're
Friday.
gonna have that game or not. But we'll have to play it on the next available date. That may be Saturday, it may be
Right.
Monday. I don't know, but right now it's still on for Friday.
There we go. Sounds good. All right, so get out there and watch the Rough Riders play on Friday night. And if you can't make it, we'll check it out here on NetSN. I think the NetSN guys, Chris and Washington or Shires and Washington are going to be at that game. And then tomorrow night as well, we're planning on being in Joaquin. I've never been over for Joaquin before. Joaquin and Garrison going to hook it up tomorrow. If not, if I can't get over there, then I'll be in Shelbyville for west of being in Shelbyville. But that's going to wrap it up here from the pizzeria. Enjoy the pizza, folks, and thanks a lot, Coach, for being here.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see you next Monday night here on the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show here on NetSN. Bye-bye.